Please, don't judge me. Chapter 1. Life has a way of putting people into boxes, and sometimes those boxes are built from nothing but assumptions. This is the story of a young man named Ayan, a boy who always walked with his head down, hands in his pockets, and a silence that spoke louder than words. To strangers, he looked cold and arrogant, the kind of person who thought he was better than everyone else. People whispered when he passed by, "He doesn't talk to anyone. He thinks he's too good for us. Look at his clothes, probably some spoiled kid." But the truth was far from what they believed. Behind those quiet eyes was a heart carrying battles no one could see. Ayan's days were heavy with worries he never shared. He woke up every morning in a small room where the paint on the walls was peeling, where the fridge sometimes stayed empty, and where the sound of arguments between his parents echoed late into the night. He worked after school, not because he wanted to, but because he had to. Every coin he earned went to keeping the lights on, and his little sister's stomach full. But the world didn't see that. They only saw a boy who kept to himself, and they judged him for it. One afternoon, as the golden light of sunset spilled across the streets, Ayan sat alone at the park, resting after a long day of work. His shoes were worn, his clothes simple, but his mind was racing with thoughts of bills, responsibilities, and dreams he feared would never come true. A group of classmates walked by, laughing, pointing at him. "There's that weird kid again," one of them said loudly. "He never talks. Probably thinks we're not worth his time." The others laughed, and Ayan felt the familiar sting of being misunderstood. He wanted to stand up, to shout the truth, that he wasn't cold, just tired, that he wasn't arrogant, just scared, that every day he was fighting to survive while they enjoyed the easy warmth of families who could provide. But he stayed silent, not because he was weak, but because he had learned that explanations rarely change minds already made up. What they didn't know was that Ayan's mother had been ill for months, and he spent his evenings taking care of her while helping his sister with homework. What they didn't know was that his father had lost his job and spent nights searching for work, while Ayan worked part-time at a grocery store to keep food on the table. What they didn't know was that behind his silence was a soul that prayed every night for strength. Days turned into weeks, and the judgment continued, but Ayan's heart never hardened. He smiled at strangers when he could, offered help when someone needed it, and kept pushing forward. One day, during a school charity event, the truth began to unfold. A teacher who knew Ayan's story shared a few words about students who silently carried heavy burdens. As she spoke, eyes in the crowd began to shift toward him. Whispers changed from mockery to realization. Some felt shame, some felt guilt, and some finally understood that not every quiet person is cold, and not every smile means a life without pain. After the event, a few classmates approached Ayan, their voices softer, their eyes kinder. We didn't know," one of them said. Ayan simply smiled and replied, "You didn't have to know. Just, please don't judge me." His words weren't angry. They were a plea, a reminder that everyone is fighting battles unseen. And maybe that's the lesson for all of us. Before you point a finger, before you laugh, before you assume, pause and think. Because the person you judge today might be the one carrying more than you can imagine. Friends, if this story touched your heart, remember there are countless Ayans out there. People who smile through storms and fight battles in silence. Let's choose kindness over judgment. And if you believe in spreading stories that open hearts and change minds, please subscribe to this channel. Your support helps us share more powerful stories that remind the world. Compassion is stronger than assumptions.